Hi, welcome to Ruminate on This, small bits of information from AMTS, the Nutritionist Webinars. In this selection, Daniel Scothorn talks about his thoughts on having diets that always contain the same set of ingredients at fixed levels, being a feedist, not a nutritionist. He also discusses why he feels using a formulation program is a help to nutritionists.
I've been doing rations for 20 years, and like at a professional level, right? And one thing I do see is the use of sort of that. You look at a ration on a farm that you've been invited in to visit, maybe just to discuss formulation and nutrition. And you look at the ration, and it's got, for example, 2.0 kgs of quinola meal, 1.5 kgs of soybean meal, 5.5 kilograms of cornmeal. Now, and the first thing I think of is, okay, well, these, right or wrong, this is a diet that's not using the optimizing feature of the formulator. No matter what formulator they're using, whether it's AMTS or any of the other optimizers that are out there, you can tell when you see those whole numbers on feed ingredients that it's a diet that's not being quite as optimized as it could otherwise be. And that difference, I think, is an opportunity to save an extra 10 to 20 cents if you let the computer do some of the work on that optimization. And that's a say kudos to Dr. Alan Vogue. He was one of my first mentors in ration formulation. He works for a feed mixing company now, but he taught me the use of optimizers, and it was in that product called Spartan Dairy, right? Remember that one, Essie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's still around, actually.
Of course, it's still around, and it does continue. The new version of it continues to be a nice product, but this is going back to the old MS-DOS program. And when I was in college, I used to play on Spartan Dairy Ration Evaluator on weekends. Can you believe it? It was always a hobby, and so I learned to use the optimizer at a very young age, and then Dr. Vogue gave me a lot more strategy and methods of getting a really well-functioning optimizer. So I still that's one of my favorite things about AMTS is that when they came out with that optimizer many years ago, I clung to it. I learned how to use it because it is a different optimizer, but once you figure it out, once you learn how many constraints the program likes or doesn't like, then you can start to turn out some pretty nice results. And I just love it because a lot of these nutrients we're formulating for, like metabolizable protein, for example, that's a very dynamic ingredient. So for a program to come up with a optimizer around that's great. And now going back to your question, though, the fetus would be one that just puts in fixed levels of ingredients. But now, clearly, if the only ingredients you ever have as a dairy manager are corn, soybean meal, cottonseed, heat-treated soy product, alfalfa hay, and corn silage, well, clearly that's probably all you have to do, because there may not be any other grains, forages, or byproducts that are worth considering. So I think it's safe to say that you can probably formulate numbers on your own just by tweaking things up and down. But really, at the end of the day, I think 90% or maybe even more of farms in North America are using a whole plethora of different ingredients when they're looking at the opportunity to optimize a diet cost. So and to fully recognize the benefits of these ingredients, then we have no choice but to go to a nutrient formulation and least optimization. Now, to get to that level of trust in a program, you really have to be at a point where you're really confident of your forage analysis, your grain nutrient values, the starch level on everything, the NDF level. Those are the two big things: NDF and starch, and ash, obviously, and fat. Those are the big nutrients, and what's going to deem a formulator a formulation program to predict accurate results. So, yeah, I've gone that way many years ago, and we continue to. So.
Daniel's point that because we are able to measure feed nutrients and use those through a formulation program well states the value of using ration balancing programs rather than a one-size-fits-all group of formulas. These shorts are brought to you by AMTS, Agricultural Modeling and Training Systems. For more information on this and any other webinar, email webinars@agmodelsystems.com.